Coming up tonight on 18 Eyewitness News.
An early morning earthquake shakes up southeast Missouri. Also, meth lab seizures are on the rise in the 18 Eyewitness News viewing area. Plus, trying to make meth in a moving car has gotten a Piedmont man 10 years in prison. All of these stories, and could we hit 70 degrees tomorrow?
News, sports, weather. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins. Top stories we're working on at this hour. A minor earthquake within the New Madrid seismic zone rattled southeast Missouri Tuesday morning. The 4.0 magnitude quake hit at 3:58 Tuesday morning and centered right around 9 miles east of Sikeston. Now, authorities say no property damage or injuries were reported. The New Madrid seismic zone is a 150-mile stretch of land between Memphis and St. Louis that crosses parts of Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, and Tennessee. The U.S. Geological Survey says it heard from nearly 300 people early Tuesday morning who reported feeling minor shaking or swaying from that quake. In addition to Missouri, those that reported feeling the quake were also located in Arkansas, Georgia, Kentucky, Illinois, and Tennessee. Well, speaking about the weather, here's Dustin Kopp. He's got a look at our first forecast. Dustin?
Well, Fred, right now temperatures are in the 40s, 42 out in St. Louis, 44 right now here in Farmington, 42 in Fredericktown, 43 in Piedmont, and 44 right now in Ellington. What's in store for your bus stop forecast in the morning? Temperatures are going to be in the 40s, partly cloudy skies with a temperature around 40 degrees. Not too bad. Just bundle up your kids when they head out to the bus stop. I'll give you more details on your warm forecast for the next couple of days coming up later in weather.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol is reporting meth lab seizures have increased for the 5th year in a row. During 2011, 2,096 meth labs were seized throughout Missouri. That's an increase of 6% over 2010. Breaking down the numbers by counties in the 18 Eyewitness News viewing area, some significant statistics jump out. In our northern area, Washington County saw a reduction in meth labs seized 93 in 2011 compared to the 103 in 2010. St. Francis County was on track for an increase with 88 labs seized in 2010 and 91 labs seized by November of 2011. Now, Jefferson County continued to have the distinction of having the most meth labs seized in the state. 228 in 2010 and 226 by November of 2011. In our southern region, both Reynolds and Ripley counties had significant increases in meth lab seizures. Now, in 2010, Reynolds County had 9 labs seized and Ripley had 6. By November of 2011, authorities had seized 39 meth labs in Reynolds County and 37 in Ripley County. Butler County also saw an increase with 24 labs seized in 2010 and 33 labs seized by November 2011. Captain Tim Hull says a number of labs have moved from the western side of the state because communities there require a prescription for physitamine.
In some of those areas, there are some counties and cities that have adopted their own ordinances which require a prescription for pseudoephedrine, and you can see some of that displacement of those numbers from some of those counties to the counties around them, and locating, and that's what kind of a common thing you see in some of the other states that have done that, is kind of the displacement of numbers from their state to another state because it becomes difficult for them to obtain that pseudoephedrine.
Hull says more labs are getting busted because law enforcement agencies are working together to aggressively address the meth problem. A complete list of counties can be found at one of our websites, froggy96online.com. One of the 3 Piedmont men accused of making meth in a moving vehicle has pleaded guilty. 33-year-old Dennis Wayne Hanks Jr. was sentenced to 10 years in prison on a charge of attempting to manufacture a controlled substance. One of Hank's co-defendants, 20-year-old John Burton Cochran Jr., did not waive his preliminary exam and was bound over for trial before Judge Randy Schuler on Thursday. The third co-defendant, 17-year-old Joshua Eric Cochran, will have the preliminary exam on Thursday on a charge of manufacturing a controlled substance. The men were arrested in January when Piedmont police officers stopped their vehicles on a traffic violation. The officers then noticed a strong chemical odor as they neared the vehicle. Upon investigation, the officers found the trio were producing meth in that car. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, the investigation continues into an officer-involved shooting in Farmington. That story is coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is continuing their investigation into the officer-involved shooting early Monday morning. Farmington Police Chief Rick Baker and St. Francis County Sheriff Dan Bullock asked the patrol to look into the shootout between Farmington police officers, St. Francis County Sheriff's deputies, and 32-year-old Cal Hamlin. Now, Hamlin was killed in the exchange, and Deputy Don Smith Jr. was shot in the leg. Hamlin, who had jumped bail 3 weeks earlier, also had an active felony warrant for possession of a controlled substance. He had been on the run from earlier that night after a bail bond agent had located him. Authorities worked with a cell phone provider to locate Hamlin on the USA Drug property where the shootout had occurred. Now, troopers spent Monday locating evidence in the field following that shooting. Three Rivers College trustees are considering a tuition increase to cover a $700,000 budget shortfall. That's for next fiscal year. The budget gap is based on cost increases in utilities and employee health insurance, as well as a significant reduction in state allocations. Three Rivers Vice President for Learning, Wesley Payne, says trustees are considering all options.
We are looking at tuition and fee increases, and we're looking at a range of them, from not doing anything and absorbing that to doing instituting a tuition and fee increase that will almost address the budgetary challenges.
Payne says trustees are considering increasing tuition by $5 per credit hour and common fees by just $3. Even with those increases, Three Rivers would still fall more than $60,000 below budget projection for the next fiscal year. The trustees are expected to decide on the tuition increase during a special teleconference session on Monday, March the 5th at 12 noon. If a tuition increase is approved, it would take effect during summer and fall registration, which opens on March the 8th. A Wappapello woman can expect to face charges after crashing into a firehouse in Ohio. State police say that 45-year-old Michelle Pyle took off during a traffic stop on Interstate 275 in Clement County. Pyle led police on a chase for about 15 miles to Sharonville, Ohio, where police deployed stop sticks, causing her right two tires to go flat. Pyle ended up crashing into the Sharonville firehouse, denting the station's garage door and causing minor damage to her car. While no one was hurt, Pyle was taken to the hospital in the area for observation. The reason she ran from the state troopers is still under investigation. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, why are some doctors calling for more female-focused research in the study of asthma? Don Arnold has the details next in today's Your Health segment. But right now, we're going to check in with the Storm Tracker team. Dustin Kopp is looking over things and getting our forecast ready, which he'll have for you coming up on 18 Eyewitness News. Stay tuned.
And welcome back. It's going to be a nice day for your Wednesday. Not too bad. Nothing to complain about. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 60s. Really nice day. Our next chance of moisture is going to be next week. However, it's going to be in the form of rain, not snow. Currently here in southeast Missouri, temperatures are in the 40s. Not too bad out there right now. 44 right now in Marble Hill and Cape Girardeau, 42 in Fredericktown as well as in St. Louis, and we're all at 45 right now in Ironton, 44 in Ellington. Factor in the wind. We do have a little bit of a wind chill in St. Louis right now at 37 degrees, as well as in Rolla, 41 right now in Ironton, 41 in Ellington, 39 in Van Buren. Down in Poplar Bluff, we have a current wind chill of 41 degrees. Here at the station, we have a temperature of 44 degrees under a clear sky. It's not too bad out there right now. 39 is what it feels like because of that southwest wind at 8 miles per hour. Current humidity is currently right now at 52%. So what's in store for your Wednesday? It's going to be a nice day, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 60s, nothing to complain about as we head into the day. It's going to be a beautiful day here in southeast Missouri. So your forecast lows this evening, temperatures are going to be in the 30s, 36 in St. Louis. In Farmington, we'll see a low of 39, 38 in Ironton, 37 in Piedmont, and 38 in Poplar Bluff. So tonight, 39 for your overnight low. We'll see a partly cloudy sky. Nothing to complain about for this time of year. Southwest wind 5 to 10. Tomorrow, one of the great days of the week, we'll see a high of 67 degrees. Sunny skies, west wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. The next several days, we'll see temperatures climbing even into Thursday. However, we're going to see a mostly cloudy sky, 65 for your overall high. Friday is a different story. We're going to start seeing that colder air move through with a high of 48, and then we're going to see some partly cloudy skies throughout the area. Nothing too bad. It's just going to be a little chilly. Starting to warm back up by the weekend, 51 on Saturday with a mostly sunny sky. By Sunday, we'll see a temperature around 57 for your overall high, partly cloudy skies. Monday, we're going to start seeing that rain move in, and then Tuesday, we're going to see a high of 54 degrees. Another check of your weekend forecast. It's going to look pretty nice for this time of year. 51 degrees for your overall high, low of 36 on Saturday. Mostly sunny skies, partly sunny on Sunday with a high of 57. Nothing too bad to complain about, Fred. Back to you.
Pretty good forecast, Dustin. Now Don Arnold is here with tonight's Your Health on 18 Eyewitness News. Don?
If you think asthma is a disease that impacts men and women alike, you're not alone. However, there's a growing evidence that the symptoms of asthma are very different in men than women. And some say the treatments should be as well. Clark Powell explains.
Even though she's been dealing with asthma since she was 12, Jody Moore says it's never been as bad as when she was expecting her daughters.
It was way worse when I was pregnant. Yeah, it was worse than it had ever been. Ever.
The fact that Jody's asthma flared to dangerous levels when she was pregnant is obviously a uniquely female experience. But when it comes to asthma, it may not be the only one.
Asthma in men and women is not the same. There's this general perception that, one size fits all for asthma, but we have found that actually that's not the case.
Dr. Jennifer McAllister is an asthma expert at Ohio State University Medical Center who is calling for a new sex-specific approach to asthma. McAllister says there is growing evidence that the same disease can affect men and women in very different ways. For example, under the age of 15, asthma is 54% more common in males. But after the age of 35, that changes. Asthma becomes nearly twice as common in women. Females are also more likely to be hospitalized from asthma and are more likely to die from it. Studies show they even report different symptoms, which could impact how their doctors choose to treat them.
By using sex-specific symptoms, then you may be better able to determine just how well controlled a patient's asthma is.
There are enough differences in men and women that many are now calling for the same thing. A new gender-specific approach to studying and treating asthma, not only for patients now, but for future generations as well. At Ohio State University Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
There's even some evidence that asthma in women may be linked to their menstrual cycle. Dr. McAllister says there's still a lot we don't understand about asthma, a disease that affects more than 300 million people worldwide.
Coming up in today's Your Life segment, money reporter Stacy Johnson starts a brand new series, Tax Hacks 2012.
And coming up in sports, I'll have a look at high school basketball action from last night. Cardinal position players are starting to join the pitchers and catchers in Jupiter, and Jeff Fisher is filling out the last few positions on his coaching staff. These stories coming up in sports on 18 Eyewitness News.
This is 18 Eyewitness News Sports.
District tournaments kicked off last night around the area. In Class 4, District Number 1, 5-seed Fredericktown advanced to the semifinals, ending the season for the 4-seed Dexter Bearcats 54-50, and Perryville had no problem with St. Genevieve 74-59. In Class 4, District Number 2, Central survived an upset bid from Potosi, advancing to the district semifinals 63-56, and one girl scored a report from Class 4, District 2 last night. DeSoto over Potosi 52-41. In regular season scores from last night in boys action, Kingston defeated Valley Caledonia 63-56, and Bismarck handled Marquand easily 79-41. In girls scores, Valley Caledonia over Kingston 44-33, Scott City defeated Valley Catholic 55-22, and Meadow Heights big over Saxony Lutheran 72-28. Cardinals left fielder Matt Holliday and World Series MVP David Freese traveled from St. Louis together and joined their teammates during Tuesday's informal workouts for position players. Freese told reporters, quote, "I've been looking forward to this for a few months now. You get down here, you get on the field, everything from here is just about baseball," end quote. Other position players who are participating in the informal workouts are John Jay, Daniel Descalso, and Pete Cosma. Former Cardinals running back and current head football coach at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Slump Mitchell, interviewed for the Rams running backs coaching position on Monday. The 52-year-old Mitchell met at Rams Park with Coach Jeff Fisher and visited with members of the coaching staff. The visit went well, though it was uncertain Monday night if Mitchell has been offered the job. League sources said Fisher could be interviewing another candidate or two for the position, which is one of the last remaining berths on Fisher's staff. A Georgia native, Mitchell played with the St. Louis and Phoenix Cardinals from 1981 to 1989. He ended his career with Kansas City in 1991, but did not post any stats with the Chiefs because of knee problems. And the Blues are making Wednesday night's game against the Boston Bruins something to celebrate. St. Louis will salute Keith Tkachuk's recent induction into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. Pre-game festivities will feature special tribute videos, and Tkachuk will be on hand prior to the game for a ceremonial puck drop. The game is also significant because this will be the only time the defending NHL champions visit St. Louis. And that's a look at sports. We'll be back with tonight's Your Life segment right after this on 18 Eyewitness News.
I'm Stacy Johnson. If you work at home, you might be eligible for a home office deduction. It could save you thousands. It's a tax hack you need to track. And it's just ahead on Money Talks News.
Now with tax season upon us, we're finding all sorts of ways to maximize our refund, and one way to do that is taking advantage of all the deductions that you can. Money reporter Stacy Johnson has a few home office deductions to consider in his Tax Hacks series. Stacy?
If you work at home and don't take a home office deduction, you could be flushing money down the tax toilet. If you work at home, you might be able to deduct part of your utilities, even part of your rent or mortgage. It could save you thousands of dollars. But you gotta know the rules, unless you like waving red flags at the IRS. So what are the rules? Think PE. The P stands for principal or primary place of business. This is my home office. It's my only office. It's my principal place of business. Therefore, if it takes up 10% of my house, I can deduct 10% of my mortgage payment, 10% of my utilities. I can deduct this chair. I can even deduct the paint on the walls. As long, at least, as it also meets the E part of PE, exclusive. If you want to deduct your home office, it has to be used exclusively for business. So say, for example, I run my business from my dining room table. It's doing double duty. I eat here, but it is my primary place of business. Guess what? No deduction, because it's not being used exclusively for business. Here's a common question. What if you're an employee, but you work at home? Maybe telecommuting or just catching up on stuff every now and then. Can you deduct your home office? Answer, if you're working at home for your employer's convenience, maybe yes. But if they're just letting you work at home for your convenience, probably not. Confused yet? Who could blame you? But if you've got questions, Uncle Sam's got answers at the IRS website. Just look for publication 587. And if you even think you might qualify for this deduction, check it out. Want a calculator to see how much you could save with the home office deduction? That and more tax hacks waiting right here at moneytalksnews.com. I'm Stacy Johnson.
Want to see those tips again and that video that Stacy mentioned? Head on over to moneytalksnews.com. Dustin, this afternoon I took a little break from my hard work that I do every day here at Channel 18. Went outside, felt a nice southerly breeze blowing, temperatures into the 60s here. My goodness, are we going to be spoiled, or is this going to last, or what?
I wouldn't necessarily say we're going to be spoiled. We've been pretty spoiled this winter as far as in not having a bad winter. We've only seen a couple snowfalls, nothing too drastic, so really can't complain. Tonight's not going to be too bad, low around 39, partly cloudy. Tomorrow's going to be a very nice day, high of 67. Some places may even reach near 70.
Wow.
Really can't complain. Plenty of sunshine. So
can't wait to see that tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Folks, thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with more here on Channel 18. Have a blessed evening. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
Good night, everybody. Newswatch is next.